I never was a person who could really be super inventive. So I would take what was around me and tweak it. And I could come up with new interpretations of it, but I wasn't like, I'm gonna do something no one's ever did and I'm the originator, and that's not even close. It's just, I'm a total product of my environment and my own head. You know, looking at books, watching cartoons, looking at record covers, looking at magazines, all this stuff that was like visual madness that was around me in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s. I just kind of took all the stuff I liked and tried to turn it into something that I could make into my own fantasy land. And I think the thing that I knew best was surfing. My mom, been a painter ever since I was born. She doesn't do it professionally, but she's always painted watercolors and oils and drawn, and it was always a part of our life from day one. I mean, we were always making things, and it seemed like there was always the tools provided and encouraged. There was no pressure. This was fun, and I wanted life to be fun because I was afraid of how dark it could be. You know, my mom and dad split when I was really young, and it was like me and my mom and my brother, and we went to a new town, and this little neighborhood's cool, and this little suburb, and over here it's like a gnarly ghetto with like gangs and shit. They're cool, like, and I go to their neighborhood and it's cool, but certain times it wasn't. And, you know, and I'm just like, whoa, this is kind of heavy, you know? And it wasn't the type of parenting that it is now. There was a ton of freedom. We were kids that were outdoors all the time, but still wanted to come home and watch Happy Days and Mork and Mindy and cartoons on Saturday morning. I mean, that was part of it. And then it was like riding my bike all over town, you know what I mean? Like miles away, just be home by when the street lights come on. I mean, and in that freedom, there was also, you know, being a little bit, like I said, scared. And I tried to distract myself with things that made me happy and laugh. And color, sort of abstract whimsy. And I was like, okay, if I think about this or do that, then I won't worry about that. Currently, I had my first solo show in my neck of the woods in Leucadia Insanitas that I've ever had. It was also the first show that I ever got to make the work in the space. I wasn't collaborating with any other company. I wasn't on anybody else's dime. It was my own time. My wife, Ashley, you know, running the back end, and I had a little bit of a loose idea, and that was taking the literal sense out of a surfing image and making it a little bit more abstract and free-flowing. There was no wave, there was no surfboards. It was just sort of energy and motion and a lot of color. And there was a huge sense of freedom, but there was also, you know, an uncertainty of what are people gonna think about this? But once I sort of decided I was gonna do it, then I just threw that all out the window and listened to music and like got into it and had fun.
Okay, now I need you to shift towards the hallway.
Okay.
Go east.
This would be the one.
I know.
This is my friend Steve's home that he developed and came up with the concept and the architecture, and this is his whole vision. And he contacted me about putting a piece of art in one of his homes, and I said, sure. In the first house, he put the piece in the home, and the people that ended up buying the home, the woman said she wanted to meet the artist who did this one piece, so I went over and I met her, and she said, oh, I'd like to see some more things, and we ended up doing every piece in the whole house, almost like a huge gallery of this like beautiful home that I got to put all my art in, and I had never dreamed anything like that would ever happen. Not that I have that kind of expectations for future projects with Steve, but you know, the second one, it was kind of the same thing where he said, well, I'll get it all finished and then let's kind of work and see what we have, and we'll put some things in here. And he worked with some other artists, and John Wegener's got some of his Aleas over there, and there's some other local artists that have pieces in here, and just a great medium for me at this point to not be doing something with apparel, but doing, you know, other categories and facets of things that the art can be applied to. And to me, I feel really excited and honored and interested in where this could go. It's something that I've wanted to do for a long time, or be a part of.